Hi, hello. Welcome to English Inside. Today's video is gonna be about present perfect continuous. Let's commence. Present perfect continuous. It expresses actions that started in the past and continue up to the present. It has visible consequences or results in the present. Here we can observe the area of action for the present perfect continuous. The action has been happening for a specific quantity of time. The auxiliaries we use so as to express ideas in present perfect continuous are the auxiliaries have or has for the perfect aspect and the auxiliary been for the continuous aspect. The affirmative form for the present perfect continuous commences with the subject, followed by the auxiliary have or has, then the auxiliary been, the main verb in present participle, ing, and the rest of the sentence. For example, she has been writing books. And we can also use the time expression so as to enhance the quantity of time. Here we have a collection of examples. The very first element is the subject. Then we have the auxiliary have or has for the third person of the perfect aspect. Then the auxiliary be of the continuous aspect conjugated in past participle, been, due to the effect of the auxiliary have or has. The main verb conjugated in present participle, ing, and the rest of the sentence, which may contain time expressions so as to highlight the quantity of time. The negative form for the present perfect continuous commences with the subject. Then the auxiliary have or has in negative. Then the auxiliary been. Then the main verb in present participle, ing, and the rest of the sentence. For example, she has not been writing books. And we can include the time expression so as to highlight the quantity of time. Here we have a collection of expressions, and the first element is the subject. Then we have the auxiliary have or has for the perfect aspect. Then the word not so as to negate the action. The auxiliary been for the continuous aspect, the main verb in present participle, ing, and the rest of the sentence, including time expressions, so as to highlight the quantity of time. It is also possible to use the short form in negative with the auxiliary haven't or hasn't. The interrogative form for the present perfect continuous commences with the auxiliary have or has, then the subject, then the auxiliary been, the main verb in present participle, ing, the rest of the sentence, and of course the question mark. For example, has she been writing books for 10 years? We can also include the time expression so as to highlight the quantity of time. The first element is the auxiliary have or has for the perfect aspect. The subject, the auxiliary of the continuous aspect, the auxiliary been, the main verb in present participle, ing, the rest of the sentence including time expressions, and of course the question mark. For the affirmative answers, we commence with the word yes, then the subject, and the auxiliary have or has accordingly. On the other hand, the negative answers commence with the word no, the subject, the auxiliary have not, or has not accordingly. And it is also possible to use the contraction in negative sentences. In this case, haven't and hasn't. Let's check the different uses between the present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. On the one hand, the present perfect simple focuses on the action and the number of times something has been done. For example, I have read this book twice. It focuses on the action read and the number of times, in this case, twice. On the other hand, the present perfect continuous focuses on the time spent doing an action. For example, I have been reading this book for 6 hours. This sentence highlights the quantity of time rather than the number of times, in this particular case, 6 hours. And please like this video, share, comment, subscribe, and of course, thanks for watching. Bye.